So before I start, I'll just have a quick whiz through the materials. These are my colours. They're all Cotman watercolours squeezed out and allowed to dry like large pans. We've got ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber and light red. I've got the 3 brushes, although 99% of the painting's done with the big one, the large one, Ranson Ake. There's also a number 3 rigger and a 3/4 inch flat. Got my water jar there with a nice lip on, which I scrape the hairs on just to take off a lot of the excess water, and 15 by 11 Fabriano, £130, cold pressed. I'm going to start clean water, just give it a good lubrication all over, and then a bit of raw sienna, alizarin crimson, just fairly random, no real order to it. Clean the brush, then I'm going to go a bit of alizarin crimson, not raw, I'm all over the place, ultramarine, and brushing nice bit of blue here and there, down here where the water's going to be. Bit of cloud, so alizarin crimson, Payne's grey. Nice little grey cloudy colour. And some of that in there, up there. A bit of a gap and then put a bit more over there, something like that. And then just a little bit in the water down there, like a reflection. A bit of tissue, just a bit of clean tissue. A few little white clouds there. Just up and down, don't do them all in a straight line, just go up and down and up and down. And just flatten them off there at the bottom a bit. A few more over here. Obviously the darker the sky area, the stronger they'll show up, more contrast. A bit more there I think. Maybe a little bit of reflection of the clouds in the sky. Not too much. Just a hint that there's something going on down there. So I'm not going to clean the brush because I'm going to put in some distant land, so I'm going to use the same colours that I put in the sky because it helps to push it right back, right the way back. So let's just put a bit of land here. This is the far side of the loch. Sort of comes down. Sort of try and vary your heights a bit. Don't put them all the same height because it'll look a bit bland. Just put in the top bits there. I'm giving it a bit of lemon yellow. And then raw sienna, ultramarine. Just trying to vary it as I'm going across, and then sort of moving up again on this side. Lemon yellow, greeny grassy bits. See the air's starting to split a bit now, so I'm just dipping them into the water. Dip them into the water, and then pulling them up on the side of the jar. It brings the airs back together. You can see all the different colours. You can see that on the brush that I've got. So I've got just enough water just to hold the hairs together. That's all I need, no more than that. And again. Just varying it a bit as I come down the land side. Not quite as much going on over that side. Just levelling that off at the bottom. Right, I'm just going to pull that paper tight, just see how it stretches a little bit. It's coming away from the board slightly. Simply just refix it with these bulldog clips. and it's nice and flat again. Now what I'm going to do now, make sure it's dry. And I'm going to re-wet the water area, which is all this down here. Just going to make sure the brush is clean first. You see how much water comes off these hikes? Holds gallons of the stuff. I'm just going to re-wet that. And then I'm just going to pull down, copy these same colours that are above it. I normally do this at the same time as I put the top part in, but I did actually forget to do it, unfortunately. So now I've got to try and copy that same colour. I'm just trying to get a rough. It's so much more difficult this way because you have to try and get the same colour. Now the paper's already wet, so I don't want too much water on the brush. It needs to be a bit more green, eh? That's not too far off, just come. Doesn't have to be absolutely exact, but as long as it's there or thereabouts, it just gives the impression of that water line. Watch the pools of water that gather at the bottom of the paper. All you got to do is just take a clean brush and just soak it all up. And just some more come off then. Or just take a tissue and just run it along the bottom. It stops it from creeping back up the page. So I'll just give that another quick try. We want a bit of land in here coming sweeping round, like a little beach type thing going on. So again, just got a nice clean brush here, just enough water to keep all the hairs together. And again, sort of pebbly, sort of ultramarine and burnt umber. Give that sort of too much blue there. Add a bit more ultramarine, burnt umber to it. I'm just gonna quick sweep round. See, this brush is actually a bit too wet. If it's too wet, just take the excess off. Just wipe it on the tea towel. Take the excess water off it. And just sweep that in. Just give it a bit higher. Maybe it's such a light red as well, just to liven it up a bit. And I'm just trying to vary the colour now as I'm coming across. I'm going to dip the tips in the water just to bring all the hairs back together. And I just want to strengthen these little bits underneath. Do. Sort of half dry that, and then just take a piece of card scrape out some bits of pebbles. You can see it's not quite flat. Just keeping them nice and small. These are like little pebbles on the beach. Yeah, it's too dry up there. See, if it's too dry, it won't scrape. It just won't scrape off at all. You can always re-wet it if you want to. But I'm going to leave it at that for now, I think. Now, a little yacht or something on the horizon, I think. So in order to balance it, we've got all our landmass on this side, so I'm going to sort of put the yacht over on this side just to sort of balance things up a little bit. So I'm going to switch to the rigger brush, just damp it. You only want it damp, just clean and damp, not loads of water on it. And then just pick a fairly darkish area. The darker your background, the stronger the white sails will show. So I'm going to pick nice about there. And I'm just going to put in like a sail shape, like a triangular sail shape. I want a clean bit of tissue. Just press down on it. Bring that yacht to life. I'm going to put another one somewhere fairly close to it. Making sure there's no water on my hands. Just to the right, I'll put another one. Dab it with a tissue and you get a nice little sail. Let's just put one more over here. A bit too wet that was. Remember, the smaller you make them, the more distant they'll look. See, obviously you do them too big, especially if they sort of end up higher than the mountains, they'll look a bit stupid. Just want a clean bit of tissue, dab that. And there's our little yacht in the distance. Just put a couple of birds up there as well. I think very, very small. I don't want to keep them tiny. And then last but not least, down here I'm going to put my name. I'm going to call that one. And it's just a very, very simple scene of Loch Fyne up in Scotland. So let's see what it looks like with the mount on. So here's our simple little scene with the mount on. So let's go in and have a closer look at it. So up in the sky, amongst the ultramarine and the blue bits, we've put in bits of cloud. This was done with the alizarin crimson and Payne's grey. And then I've used just bits of tissue, just to take out the white cloud areas. Little bits in the water as well, just to reflection out of the grey clouds, just to try and make the water as realistic as possible. This land put in the same colour as the cloud, just to try and push it right back, as far back into the distance as I can get. And I've just used a bit of lemon yellow just to put the green grassier areas in as you come forward still. A few reflections. I did it different this time. Previously I've put them in at the same time, but what I like about doing it this way around is if you allow it to dry more, the paint sort of breaks and you get these interesting shapes that could be buildings, anything. You know, your mind And if we go right in close, you know, there could be all sorts of things going on in there, just purely by accident, just accidental detail, all the way across. And you can always go back and fill them in and use the rigger to put in little details to accentuate anything else you may wish. Again, a few little sweeps of the hake, chisel edge just to do the thinner bits, and then when it's partly dry, use the card just to scrape in a few little pebbles and rocks along the shore here, make it look a bit like a beach. We've got our little yachts there on the horizon line, just giving it a focal point, a bit of life to the thing. You saw how easy it was to put them in, just damp them with a rigger brush and then just take them out with a tissue. Just simple style shapes. Well, thanks for watching, I hope you like that. All the paintings are for sale in my eBay store if you wish to have a look. Any questions please ask. Keep practicing and I'll see you again soon.